Alright, so I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to play on my channel, but this is Megabonk. I'm mainly doing this as like an audio test. I might play more of it later, but if you've seen it on Steam, this is actually a really good game. I really enjoy it. My audio has been like consistently crap, and I followed a really good audio guide for OBS that I'll be linking in the description for anyone who's seen my channel and you know, has noticed the terrible audio. Like, if you're interested in doing recordings yourself, and I suggest more people do it because it's fun. I mean, really, you don't need a better reason than that. Yeah, you should check it out. I have a rather bad headset, so yeah. Anyway, Megabonk is best described by the creator of the game themselves, too, as a cross between Vampire Survivors and Risk of Rain 2, and it is a really, really good game. From what I've played so far, honestly, the only problem I have with it is that there isn't enough maps. Like, apparently there's only 2 maps for now. I hope that the person who made the game adds more maps to it. It's got a lot of characters so far. I hope they add more characters eventually too, but more maps would kind of be the immediate thing. I haven't played the second map yet, to be fair. So you've got your standard like Vampire Survivors thing, where you got a bunch of different characters, each with a pretty straightforward setup, where it's like starting weapon that you can get on other characters. And sorry, I ate a bunch of cake, so my stomach is like giving me a lot of trouble. But you eat you eat cake and you have problems, including speaking. But you get like a special, again, it's much like Vampire Survivors, where each character has like a special passive that increases as they level up, or does something as they level up. This one is really cool. I like, not just because, I mean, it's, what is there not to love about the monkey, right? It's an ape with pants on and sunglasses. But this guy is actually really cool because the climbing walls mechanic is really, really well done. I can't really get over how well done it is. I've been trying to beat Forest Tier 1 and 2 with each character that I've unlocked before I move on to Tier 3. And as you can see, like, right here, the profile picture of each character you've beaten that tier with. So if I select Tier 2, you can see that I haven't beaten it with Clank and the monkey. Now, Clank is an interesting character because what it doesn't tell you on his screen, and I kind of wish, if there's one small criticism I have of the game, like an actual criticism, is that the characters all have like different starting stats, and it doesn't really tell you that on the character select screen. The thing about Clank is, let's start with the Fox first. Let's just do a Tier 2 run with the Fox, and you'll kind of see what I mean. So if we press start, we can see immediately over here, you follow my mouse cursor, we have life steal, no, evasion 6%, should be jump height is 8, and I think the pickup range is increased for this guy too, and he starts with 15% luck. So already you can kind of tell that that's, as we play through the characters a bit, you'll be able to see what I mean, that that's not normal. I'm not sure if there is a, quote, default. I guess it would be whatever that character doesn't have extra, and you can kind of infer what the default is from that. Anyway, you can tell that we leveled up, which like in Vampire Survivors, it's been a long time since I played that game, but if I remember right, it's just like that, where you see at the top of the screen your level progress and the timer. Here you select between, again, Vampire Survivor style, what weapons and stuff you have. Like, your level ups show possible accessory and weapon selections that you can either banish, skip, or refresh. We're just gonna upgrade the Fire Staff for now. Again, Vampire Survivor style, you get item drops, and the part where the Risk of Rain 2 setting sort of thing comes in, I can't remember if Vampire Survivors had like had a common, rare, like common, uncommon, rare, and legendary system, but the gist is that you have that going on for the different categories of item, plus obviously you have interactables in a 3D like voxel-ish environment, which is just really rad. I love the feel of this game, and honestly, kudos to the person who made it, because it was kind of like something I had wanted to have happen for a while, but obviously I'm not a game developer, at least not yet. Look, I don't, I'm not saying I ever will be, I'm just saying you shouldn't close yourself off from possibilities, right? But yeah, this is kind of something that I wanted to exist. Ever since I played Vampire Survivors and Risk of Rain 2, I kind of wanted this exact game, so I'm very happy about this game existing, if that makes sense. I just want there to be more content for it. To explain what my actual strategy, if you want to call it that, is, I like going for the cooldown, damage, and quantity tomes on most characters. But we can kind of get into that in a bit. Right now, as you can see, we're just sort of looking around for interactables. That's a charge shrine, which, to its name, you just... ah, crud. Apropos for its name, you just sit around next to it until it charges. That's a power-up that you can pick up. As it says, you just kind of get extra money for hitting stuff. I'm not exactly happy about the name of that rocket, but we'll go ahead and get it, and hopefully not die. I haven't used the rocket yet, I like just unlocked it. Looks pretty good. I mean, it's just a rocket, I don't really... I can't really add much more color commentary to that. It's doing what rockets do. I really do like that, though. There's melee, if you want to call it that, like in air quotes, melee weapons. I want to get one, actually, but right now, just go for the cooldown tome to secure that. And also to hopefully get our attack speed up so that we can stop getting mogged. Ah. Now these things that I'm ignoring over, well, first, this is a greed shrine, increases difficulty percent, which from what I've read just increases like monster spawns, which is good, but can be bad for obvious reasons. This dude right here, the color of his hat dictates the shady guy shop. Like, the color of his hat dictates what he's going to be selling. So, you know. Purple for the epic stuff, blue for the uncommon, you get the idea. I kind of want just 10% armor, which, if you look over here, we now have 12%, which should block 12% of damage that we take, which probably isn't, yeah, going to matter. Ugh. Okay, let's try that again. With Sir Oofy. As you can see, gain 1% armor per level. And they're not kidding about him being slow. But I do like him. I'm gonna try to play a little bit better this time. So this is like one of the melee weapons, if you want to call it that. Again, much like in Vampire Survivors, and sorry, my ears have a habit of getting itchy. So if I move my headset around like that, you know, that's kind of what happened. But if you look over here, He has a jump height of 7, luck of 0%. Not really sure if there's anything else too obvious that's different about him, but you get the idea. He doesn't start with the same stats, and it's not exactly told to you in the screen, the character select screen, that he has different stats, like from the word jump. Now, the thing about the sword is that it does innate knockback, which is really cool. We're gonna get the bone. It's what it sounds like. Increased damage by plus 10%, which is good. Now, the reason why I want to get the bone is because the bone also has innate knockback. I'll get the Flame Walker just to show it off, but that's definitely more of a, like, I don't even know how to put it. It's more of a, like, utility or support weapon, I guess. I think I actually want to get the Precision Tome, but right now I want to upgrade the Flame Walkers so that they're doing actual decent support. We want to try to stick around to get that Coward's Cloak, because with the armor that Ufi has, we can just sort of take damage to go faster. Oh wait, no, that's 86 gold, huh? We should probably keep moving then. Upgrade the Flame Walker again. Because, I mean, we are on a pretty strict time limit. That bush will, if you see that bush over here, this bush will end your life if you shake it. Don't do that. that bush doesn't play around. You don't want to mess with that bush. Let's get down here to this charge shrine. Hopefully get movement speed. Plus 5 shield. That's another thing that this game has, is the Risk of Rain style one-hit protection, so that if you have a shield, even if it only takes like, even if it only has 5 health, if you take a hit, it'll take all of your shield before it goes to your health on that one hit, like that. So it's definitely a good idea to get at least a little bit of shield if you just don't want to get one shot, which can happen. I'll get the Lightning Staff, because I like it, if there's no other reason for that. I also want to upgrade it eventually to like level 15 in a run, but I'm not sure if that's even really feasible on a tier 2 map run. Like a tier 2 difficulty of a map run. Let's go ahead and try to get this charge shrine. I like the HP regen for reasons hopefully obvious, especially with a guy as tanky as this. That right there is like a, that's a power-up that increases attack speed and damage, so we should probably save that for if we really need it. Assuming we ever get enough movement speed for it to matter. I'll get the jump height just for some measure of mobility improvement. The Moai just give you a free item from a choice of items, basically. Now, I think I want the evasion just for more defensive utility. Since if we're going to be slow, we might as well be slow and hard to kill, rather than slow and easy to kill. This is a good time to show off what this thing does. Go ahead and upgrade the sword again. Oop. There we go. That's rough. Okay. Took a lot of damage there. Hopefully we get a movement speed upgrade. I kind of wish there was at least one more common item that improved movement speed. We'll go for gold gain. Yeah. Speaking of, can we get that gold skeleton? Yes, excellent. Go ahead and get the quantity tome to lock that in. Now we still have to find the boss portal, which, with how slow our guy is going to be a challenge. Nice. I like the crit chance item. More gold's always good. See, you can tell if you look by the red stuff in the air, like where the portal is from a distance. That's another thing, kind of risk of rain-ish. The beacon's actually good. It doesn't seem like it's that good, but if your guy, especially if they don't have very good mobility, can just stick defensively around one of these things, it can be a lifesaver. I'll take the 12% XP gain, actually. I'm tempted to take the agility tome. I want to upgrade the bone for more bounces, though. Extra jumps, that's very good. It's not good if we get stuck on an enemy. More knockback, again, pretty good. Kind of hoping we can find something again for more mobility. Ah. Let's get over to this dude, hope that he sells the... he doesn't sell the thing I was hoping he would, but the Boss Buster is also like a pretty... like honestly really good item to just get a lot of, essentially. I'll take the regen on that. So I haven't really talked about it much, but you see how you have common and then uncommon? Your upgrades can actually be of varying quality on your level ups, and that's something that luck affects, which is a reason why luck isn't actually a bad stat to go for. There's a tome that you can get as in one of your accessory slots that improves just luck, and it's pretty good, again, for that reason, that you do kind of just... Sorry, I was distracted by what was on the map, trying to look around and see if I can find anything that might give us some movement upgrades. Even just an extra 10% movement speed would go pretty far. Because not being able to go very fast is kind of deadly in this game. I'll take the luck. In keeping with what I just said about it, it's kind of just a universally good thing to get. Go for the bone upgrade. The Flame Walker upgrade. Not just because it adds projectiles to it, but because it increases the size. We'll refresh that. Get the damage tome. Banish the projectile speed tome. Take the quantity tome. Banish the HP tome. Get the cooldown tome. That's what I was looking for. It'll be really nice whenever I unlock the 4th utility slot. I just think of them as utility, but the 4th tome slot, because man, that that'll enable just taking the agility tome and not feeling bad or weird about that. You see how the bone here has knockback? That's, again, why I took it. It's because unlike... I'm not sure which other projectile weapons have knockback, but the bone has decent knockback. Let's see if we can get over to this guy without getting killed. I'll take the crit chance. It's just more damage. The projectile bounces for the lightning staff is really good because that basically just means you get more for each individual projectile, if I'm not mistaken. I kind of do want to just stack crit chance, but the key is pretty good. We'll just take that anyway. Nice. Plus 2.5% damage on each chest being opened. That's not bad. It's just kind of bad if you get it later on. Well, for better or for worse, I think we just have to take on the boss as we are, which the boss of the forest is this guy. He just does the same sort of attacking from under your feet thing. Upgrade the sword, since that's kind of our main means of not getting completely owned by the mobs of enemies around us. Go for the magnet, hope we get a level up. Getting the lightning staff upgraded will hopefully help us with the crowd a bit. Ah, see, we're so slow that we can't really do anything about that if he ends up throwing them in front of us. And we don't really have the regen to deal with this stuff without going over to these regen areas. That clock is a time stop, which would be really fantastic right now. Let's go ahead and get the flame walkers up, and then hopefully get some good damage in on the boss. Now, that's another boss that shows up at certain intervals. Getting that knockback up that much would be very good. And having the extra projectile counts, obviously. Let's go for attack speed. Except I want to get the damage up per projectile. Yeah, there we go. Get attack speed up a bit. Well, at least the other boss got cleared. Wrench? I mean, I guess that's okay. We're almost done with this stage. Excellent. Let's go ahead and get the quantity tome up, because look, if you look at this, the projectile count is... we might as well just get it up for each weapon at the same time. Nice! Finally! Now, this starts the final wave, so we just want to get out of here before that kicks in. You can stick around, but that's dicey. It's best not to do that. We should probably head off in this direction first. It looks like. Now, the beefy ring's pretty good. I mean, especially on a character like Ufi, where he just kind of starts with a flat 20% from it. I don't really have any reason to use that magnet, but might as well pick it up, I guess. Now, I'm just gonna get the percent for evasion. There. Again, focusing on survivability. You can kind of see the simple yet I wouldn't say like, I mean, it's the same thing as Vampire Survivors, where it seems simplistic, and it kind of is, but we're gonna go for the knockback, by the way. I wouldn't say that there's like like, I'm not gonna say that this game is complex, that the strategy in it is complex, right? It's pretty straightforward if you just want to win, like what you kind of should do and should be trying to get towards. But it doesn't. There is strategy there, and the RNG is very much. Let's get more attack speed. The RNG does kind of force you to go with what you've got on some runs rather than having a way to, because in Risk of Rain 2 you can kind of mitigate a lot of the RNG, and in this you sort of can. I mean, Vampire Survivors had that too, but it's still got enough of that that you can end up making a strategy that you might not have wanted to go with work. It's got that kind of thing going on. I'm not really sure how to describe it, because again, it's not really complex. You kind of have an idea of what you want to do, and maybe even should do for like an optimal run with different characters. Just kind of focusing here. Nice. But yeah, you can end up deviating from that quite a bit. And that deviation and trying to account for what you've got rather than what you wanted, I guess you could say that that's where the sort of strategy comes in. Also, the game is like hyper loud in my ears, so I'm going to turn that down on my headset. But yeah, you kind of have a, I guess I would call it like accidental depth, where the RNG serves less to make each run unique in a sense regarding like the actual content, and more that it messes with your ability to have a coherent strategy. Kind of how it's like the strategy equivalent of those balance beam games in various like third-person or over-the-shoulder like action-adventure games, where you have your guy try to walk over, and I think this was even in the old Tomb Raider for the PS1 games, where you have your character try to walk over a beam and you've got to like wiggle left or right to keep them from falling off. It's like that, but with strategy, right? Like that's what the RNG is actually doing in games like this, and the entire genre of, I guess we would call this like auto-attacker strategy games, I guess. It's almost like character defense instead of tower defense. That would probably not be a half bad way to describe these games, as character defense games. I'm going for the HP regen. I really wanted the power-up. Like the additional chance to drop the power up, but I'll take the damage just to help out. We're kind of getting mogged from a lack of damage. And that's not to say that I don't think the game has depth, it's just that the obvious straightforward strategy is obvious and straightforward. There's not like, it's not like there isn't an obvious meta strategy that you should probably be going for if you want to win consistently, which again for me, I'm pretty sure it's just the that movement speed upgrade is fantastic. But, you know, it's mobility, it's damage, it's attack rate, the standard stuff. I mean, you can perform a different calculus based on your character's weapons and the character themselves. That 17% damage is really good, but I would really like the extra movement speed. I'll go for the damage though. But yeah, where your strategy should center more around doing damage than perhaps like more abstract stuff like getting luck to try to get your damage up and buy character upgrades, like in a roundabout way, that kind of thing. That said, that is probably a valid strategy, is to just crank luck and crank, you know, for instance, like critical chance. Yeah. I'm going to go for the... I really want the lightning staff upgrade, but we need the damage. There we go. That'll work. Yeah, the knockback on that is pretty good, but I want the projectile bounces. Damage upgrade. Just damage. We really have to spawn the boss soon, even if we already have a large problem in the boss that's already out. I'm not sure if I spawned the boss even on the last run, but the boss of the second stage has 500,000 health, so we kind of really do need to spawn the boss before, like, earlier rather than later. Lifesteal, 10%. It's not what you may think it is. It's 10% chance for healing rather than 10% chance, like 10% of your damage done as healing. Which is a little bit different. Plus 1.5 projectile count, just for, again, more damage. Ooh, crud. See if that magnet shrine gets us anything. Quantity tome. Ah, crud. Damage tome. More armor would be nice, I guess. Kind of hoping for more offensive upgrades. Ah, speaking of, that's a shame. We'd have to stand here for a little bit too long to get that guy's stuff. If you look at the horde of monsters behind us, we can't really afford to do that. Maybe we can come back around to get the plus 50% damage while airborne, but we're probably dead here. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, we're done. We're done, I think. Wow. We still aren't going to be able to take on the boss. I forget where that guy even was. Come on. There we go. Damage tome. See if we can clear out some of these mobs. Ugh. Well, we've got to spawn the boss regardless. Attack speed. This'll help. Not a whole lot, but it'll help. Yeah. That's it. Ugh. Okay. Well, I'll try one more run. I like this guy. Mainly because he has stupendous movement capacity. Also, he starts off with the bone, which is pretty good. Nice. Let's go ahead and go for power-up drop chance on that one. Spawn this and just let them follow us around. You can slide, by the way, to go faster down slopes, which is kind of a scuffed movement ability that all characters have. But the problem is that obviously if you go down a slope, you're going to have to deal with getting back up the slope. Right. Quantity Tome kind of honestly chooses itself. We'll leave that clock there. As far as I'm aware, power-ups don't like disappear. You can leave them for later on the ground and not like fret about them blinking out. Ah, crud. The thing is that the skeleton loses speed whenever he gets hit. Let's go ahead and upgrade the bone. Ah! We might die early. It's ironic for a skeleton. We'll get the gold gain. Alright, let's see what this guy's got for sale. I would like to get the feathers if we don't die immediately. Refresh that. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, I would like to just get the bone upgrade. But I'll take the damage tome. Just to lock it in case we don't, die. Which is very generous to assume that. Get the feathers. The fire staff would be pretty good. It does a kind of AoE. Like whenever the fireballs hit, they actually do a pretty good AoE. Like, so it's not just like the bone. It's not really single target or whatever. Yeah, just upgrade the damage tome. And hope that we can find some way to recoup our health loss. Sometimes pots will drop health pickups. Okay. We'll go ahead and take the fire staff and hope we don't touch that enemy. The thing is that there is fall damage in this game, and our guy is damaged enough that I don't really want to risk fall damage at the moment. Nice. That's a very scuffed heal. My favorite kind of healing, just increasing your max HP. Now, where's that treasure at? Ah, don't have enough. Now we do. Excellent. Nice. More gold gain is pretty good. Oh, I don't like that he just showed up right on top of us like that. Yeah, the revolver. Let's go ahead and get that. Now it shoots 6 bullets per attack, which makes sense by default. The revolver is interesting in that it does a ricochet between enemies, like a seeking bullet kind of thing. We've seen it, I think. No, see, the thing is, I think I'm getting mixed up with my recording session where I did the initial audio test before this, where I played as Clank. But the revolver is a very strong weapon. I don't like the name of this rocket, but like I said, but we can go ahead and get it again and see how that does for our speedy character. And we've got pretty lucky with the attack speed upgrades, honestly. But as you can see, this is kind of why this guy is my favorite. Oh, and the revolver has innate crit chance, which is pretty good. So this guy's like my favorite character so far, just because he has innate movement speed upgrades, which makes him just kind of... I have him tied with the monkey, because the monkey has vertical mobility to match the skeleton's horizontal, like lateral mobility. Nice, we actually really need that. Anyway, enough hanging out in this one area. Want to upgrade the revolver a good bit, since it'll be kind of our swarm clear weapon. Get over here to this, and the gold chests, if I'm not mistaken, are like always free. Nice. I really appreciate that crit chance upgrade. I love that he does kick flips whenever he jumps. That's also kind of why, that's the thing that makes him just a little bit better than the monkey, in my opinion, is like I really feel like I'm playing a really weird Tony Hawk's Pro Skater mod whenever I play as this guy. I mean, the physics really do feel kind of similar, if I'm not, like... If I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater was a game that was, perfectly accurate in its physics, like, yeah, the physics are oddly similar to the original Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Alright, let's go ahead and get that, because again, just free, in air quotes, damage while level up. Now the microwave, let's go ahead and get that HP regen. The microwave over here, as you can see, you can clone an item, but it uses a random item of the same rarity, which can be good and bad. This is a very Risk of Rain 2 mechanic. I like this a lot, but the problem is that you have to basically be willing to go all in and be okay with losing whatever it is you're not going to have. I would actually want the watch. I'm just hoping what we lose isn't either the batteries or the hammer. Okay, so far so good. Excellent. Let's go ahead and get the revolver up again, and I want to get another watch. Okay, good. We didn't lose anything too important. Because getting the XP gain rate up is pretty good. I mean, obviously. Go ahead and get the cooldown tome upgraded. The rocket. I'd like the revolver's crit damage being upgraded. Get the rocket upgraded here. The crit chance. I definitely want the crit chance stuff going up. I want the base damage of the bone up too. The projectile bounces is important, but the crit damage on the revolver is stupendously good to get upgraded. We're gonna try to leave the boss portal for as long as we can. I'm hoping we can get some more boss busters. Let's go ahead and get the gold gain. Drop down here, kick flip over here. Do a 6-7-20 ollie. And do a dark slide on the corner. The extra jumps is good. But that damage, I'd rather just get the damage. hope for something good. I like how, if you look down here, you can see the spinning bone. It's mid-flight. I love that it's still spinning while the game world's paused. That's so based. I love that. That's the best. I love that kind of goofy stuff. It's like right up my alley. I mean, this whole game is right up my alley, but yeah, that's like cherry on the sundae. The bone is just spinning in the... Nice! I mean, we didn't really need that, but more movement speed is always welcome. I mean, you don't really need extra jumps if you can, you know, go flying like that off of a ramp. The knockback on that is actually really important. Crit damage, and yeah. Again, the revolver is going to be, once its bounces are upgraded, our main swarm clear. Projectile speed, as odd as that may sound, because the bones travel kind of slow to their target, same with the fireballs, and being able to have that travel time be reduced is pretty good. I want to see if we can zip over to these other charge shrines and get them before activating the boss. I mean, look how fast this guy goes. This is why, again, he just... I mean, like I said, it's also partly the aesthetics. I mean, the fact that he's doing kickflips and stuff is pretty awesome. But really, just the lateral movement speed of this guy is unparalleled. I want the power-up drop chance here, and the XP gain. See if we can't get this charge shrine too. Oh, nice. I want to see what that guy's got for sale. Get the armor, actually, to give us a little bit extra survivability on a hit. I'll take the tactical glasses, just to have them, I guess. That's like the crowbar out of Risk of Rain. Oh, goodness. He spawned right on top of us. I actually probably want the luck. Now, look at how much damage we do to this guy. This is why I'm not worried about spawning the boss, like, close to the time limit. Get the damage up for everything. There's my stomach playing havoc again. I still want to go get those other charge shrines. Get the crit chance for all of our weapons, because that's pretty good. Like, if you look over, we've only got 6% base crit chance, so... You know. Get the XP gain up again, so that, again, we just kind of level up faster. I mean, that's what a stupid thing to say, but the reasoning why is that we get more damage from leveling up faster than, say, just a flat +1 projectile, right? Get more luck. Again, that's like a roundabout damage upgrade. I want the crit damage, but the armor will keep us, hopefully, from being too vulnerable to a one-shot situation. Now, that's all the charge shrines on the map, so we can just go straight to the boss now. I want to get the crit chance of the crit damage, rather, of the revolver up. Get the base damage of the fire staff up. Base crit chance of the revolver up. Base damage of the fire staff. Knockback. Open the chest. Nice. Another 10% damage in the pocket. Again, base damage of the rocket. More base damage of the rocket and projectile speed. That's really good. All of these base damage upgrades are great. The bounces on the bone are very important though, because that allows for it to, like, again, ricochet between enemies and around the environment and such. So our crit chance now is pretty good on the weapons that it's pertinent for. We should, like, obliterate. Yeah, I was gonna say, this guy should just get obliterated by our weaponry. Now, as you can see, we're going slower. I'm not sure if I said it explicitly or what, but in the character select screen, it does make mention of the fact that whenever the skeleton calcium gets hit, his speed gets cut in half. So, but you do get a damage bonus for how fast or rather for your total speed, so like your total movement speed. So he is kind of a glass cannon, a speedy glass cannon kind of guy, making stuff like the rockets really good. Man, that's wondrous. I'm super happy that we got that. Again, just getting the crit chance up and the projectile speed too of that. The size there for the fire staff, if I'm not mistaken, also affects the AoE, which is really good for our purposes, because we're going to have to deal with swarm clear, just like Ufi did and failed to whenever we were doing that run. Now, oh man, look at all those rockets. Let's go for the crit chance, actually. Because, I mean, it's just more damage, right? Ears itchy. You can tell we've got a good setup because we could just stand still and ain't nothing getting close enough to us to matter. I would actually like to get the size upgrade there so that the AoE of the fireballs is a little bit larger. Just more damage. I'll explain the silver thing in a minute. Nice! Excellent. HP regen just on tap. %30 pickup range. That's really good, kinda, but I want the damage. Gotta get the damage. Always need the damage. Now these things are, as they say, a boss curse statue, which, I mean, I'm not gonna activate that. It just makes the boss harder, and I'm not really sure why I would want to do that. Or why there's so many of them. Now, out of these, I actually want the medkit. I kind of normally would want to get the oats, but, you know, more regen is kind of pertinent. Ooh! Goodness. Let's go for... I want to go for crit damage, even though we just got tagged really badly by that guy. Enemies in this can kind of hop on your head and stay there if you're not careful, which I've seen people complaining about in the Steam reviews, and it sucks whenever it first happens, but you know, I view it kind of as this game's equivalent of what happens in Vampire Survivors whenever you're not really managing your stuff well and you end up just kind of against a corner. Like, you should be more situationally aware than to let that happen. So we want the shield again as one-shot protection. We're gonna leave that nuke there for later. But yeah, I mean, it is kind of a simple, just don't put yourself in the situation where something's gonna hop on your head, bro, kind of thing, you know? Let's get additional XP gain for all the reasons one normally would. Now, as you can see, compared to Ufi trying to deal with this guy, or this level even, we're doing pretty well. I think part of the problem with me trying to play other characters is that I just try to get every character to be, like, to run this kind of kit, and I just don't think that works. Oof! Ah! Let's go ahead and get... I want to get the base damage up more. But I kind of want to also just get the quantity of everything up. Ghost. These are the bottle rockets from Risk of Rain 2, which means that if you get a lot of them, they're very good. And also, from what I've read, they inherit damage and like on hit stuff. So stuff from this, right? Like crit chance, crit damage, all that. And like damage multipliers, which makes them stupidly strong if you get a lot of them, just like the bottle rockets from Risk of Rain 2. I like the revolver upgrade here. Nice! So that's like plus 5% damage when we open a chest. The problem is that we're not going to be opening too many more chests. I mean, still though, 2 chests, that's 10% damage. We want the knockback on that. I want this up, but we kind of need the knockback. We need like an actual serious source of knockback, and the bones are kind of decent at that. I mean, look at this. We don't even have projectile bounces on the... Oh goodness. Ah, that's me getting cocky. Ah. Well, we didn't even have the projectile bounces on the revolver, and it was doing that well. No refunds. That's funny. So, it's super funny because you can just refund. Like, there are, in fact, refunds. Like, there's a refund for, like, everything, actually, I think. Hold on. Oh, maybe not these. But... yeah, wow. There are, in fact, refunds. So silver is how you unlock stuff. That's why I don't really go for it in like silver gain stuff, is because, I mean, what's really the point of that? The Shrine of Suck is the Magnet Shrine. I want to get the Chaos Tome, but that requires beating a tier 3 run across all and getting all charge state. If I can talk for a minute, getting all charge shrines across all 3 stages without leaving the charge zone on a tier 3 run, which is kind of nutty. The XP tome would probably be cool. I'm kind of waiting for a tier 3 run until I get the second upgrade for tome slots to get all 4 of them. Now, if you can see in the top left, I only have to complete a few more quests for that. Now, I showed off, obviously, this guy. I don't think I actually showed off Clank. The Ogre is pretty cool. We'll go ahead and go with him next. So he starts off with the axe, and the axe is a very odd weapon. It's kind of like an alternate sword, right? Now if you look, our fella here starts with plus 10% damage. His luck is negative 1%, I didn't know that. His pickup range is tiny. He gets more silver gain? Maybe that's just from the tier 2. 6% armor, you know. He's got some interesting stats. I kind of want the feathers. Again, just basic mobility. Let's get up here. His pickup range being garbage isn't really that big of a deal, especially with how magnet shrines are kind of common. I'm going to use a banish on the HP tome. Just because I don't think that's really relevant to what we're going to be trying to do with this guy. Extra jumps, that is incredible. Let's hope that we get Not that, but that's not bad. That's not great, it's not bad. That's pretty good. At least we won't have literally negative luck. What's our luck at now? Yeah, just 7%. Yeah, as you can see, the ghosts do pretty good damage. Again, having a lot of them would be pretty fun. Just like the bottle rockets out of Risk of Rain 2. That's one of my favorite strats in ROR 2, is to just get a ton of bottle rockets. Let's get the damage tome. Our guy doesn't technically really need it, but more damage is more damage. Like, why wouldn't you want more damage? Like, killing stuff faster means you don't get killed. Ah. If we can avoid getting killed long enough. These ghoul things are like really fast. Ugh. That's kind of the cool thing about the ghoul thing, if you will, about the axes. If I can avoid getting run over. Ugh. These things are just too fast. Is that you could kind of throw them sideways to hit stuff behind you. Now, what just dropped there was a protect power-up, but there is no freaking way we're going to get to it. This guy's slowly gaining on us. Just kind of terrifying. We might need the knockback tome. I'll get the quantity tome just to give us some kind of semblance of being able to maybe get our way out of this. We don't have enough evasion for that to be... Yeah, that doesn't really make sense. And I got stuck on him, that stinks. Yeah, we're just in a battle for survival at this point. This run might be better off restarted. There we go. At least we got a little bit of ground, though for what good, I don't know. Yeah, I think we're hosed. Again, the lack of movement speed just got us. I'm trying. I'm really trying, but I think this is a dead end in more than a metaphorical sense to our adventures here with the orc. Flame Walker, well that's relevant, so let's just go ahead and get that. I don't think I've ever had a situation so apt for the Flame Walker. Yeah. Dead, probably. Yeah. Okay. Let's try that again. That was awful. You know, if I get the agility tome, I'm just taking it with this guy. Frankly, because he does get damage as part of his kit. Let's go ahead and get the feathers. Take the greed shrine. See what this guy's selling. Hopefully it's a movement upgrade. I'll take the key. If we get enough of those, it could actually be a really good strat to just have. So the thing is that if you open a chest for free, the next one's the cost, so if you look up here in the top right, the cost for the next chest doesn't go up if you get it for free. I'll take the lightning staff just because that doesn't take aiming. And just kind of automatically seeks and destroys stuff. Let's go ahead and get the wrench, just because better rewards from the charge shrines is pretty good. Let's hope we avoid any ghouls this time, huh? Get the XP gain. The fire staff too, just so again we have some... You know, I'm not against the idea of having the sword as well. Yeah, I think we've just turned this guy into a killing machine with that setup. Let's get the precision tome. Because he gets damage, like a damage percent upgrade on each level up, so we might as well get the crit chance instead. Yeah, let's go for extra projectiles. Yeah, I feel really good about this run. We're not touching that bush. That bush will murder us. We absolutely cannot contend with the bush. Let's upgrade the size of our projectiles. Now here's hoping we get some mobility stuff, yeah? Like meaningful mobility stuff. I'll take gold gain, I guess. Agility tome, I'm just taking that. We just need the mobility on this guy. That's legit what got us killed on the last run, so we might as well just get that and level it up. Let's get more damage. Since we're probably not going to get the damage tome, I would want to get quantity now. Well, actually, not even quantity, attack speed. Let's go ahead and just get more movement speed, because it's always relevant. This guy's got a gold hat, so you know he's got the good stuff. Let's upgrade our crit chance. I want more knockback, but we need the HP regen. Zawarudo, huh? That's really good, but that also means that if you don't die, it's wasted. The big bonk is way better in terms of like actual use potential. Plus 2% is a 1 in 50, which is not as bad as it sounds. I'll put it this way. I personally would never play Russian roulette, neither should you, obviously, but I'm just saying that if someone presented me with a revolver that had 50 chambers and only one was loaded and said, hey, you want to try these odds, I would tell them they're insane, and I'm not doing that. Right? Like, even if it had 50 chambers, I still wouldn't go in on that 1 in 49. So, it helps to think of percentages like that, and whenever you're dealing with game, what I like to call video game math, it helps to view it that way. So you kind of get a more realistic understanding of what the actual odds of an effect triggering, beneficial or otherwise, are. I just want the movement speed upgrade, because having more movement speed is imperative. Like, legit, it's the most important stat in this game, I think. My humble opinion it is, anyway. I say that, but we have a natural way to increase our movement speed, so for now I actually want to take the 50% more damage while airborne, is what I want to say, but I'll take the damage by 10%. Because if we're getting crit damage, right, I would like to think that the crit damage is applied on top of your damage. Does that make sense? So if you have a weapon that does 10 damage, and you have double damage, it goes to 20, and then if it crits, it does 40. You know, if assuming the crit does another double. I like to think it works that way. Speaking of, we're going to get crit damage because we're going into crits. The Coward's Cloak is pretty cool, but I want more evasion. Again, more survivability. I'm not sure how evasion works in this game. Like if it's on a cool... Oh, that's pretty good. I'm not sure how evasion works in this game, like if it's on a cooldown or not or what. But it's still good to just have a potential to avoid damage. Like that, you know. I think the reasoning why I wanted the knockback increase is kind of becoming clear here. I want the luck upgrade, so again, we're not working with actual, no kidding, negative luck. Now, if you look at the evasion, it says plus 15%. We had 24, and now it's 31. It doesn't scale linearly, so you get, I'm pretty sure it's just so that you never get to actual 100% evasion and then just never get hit, which is totally reasonable, right? I'm not sure how the cursed doll works. I'm just gonna be real, I don't know how that thing works at all. I almost kind of view it as like a throwaway. Like, whenever you get that, like a, that's a thing that does something. You know, insert the gif of the old man shrugging, like, I don't know actually what it does, but, you know, whatever. Let's get the sword upgraded. Since the sword is kind of how we're actually clearing our way through these mobs. I kind of want to just take out the stone golem so he's not annoying us for eternity and possibly killing us, holy crap. Except now we're in the corner and getting rained on. We might die from this. Okay, let's see what the chest dropped us. Good, let's get this health pickup before we eat a bucket of crap. Look at all that XP, goodness. Still holding out for the cooldown tome. Refresh, banish the projectile speed tome. I really, really want the cooldown tome. That would basically be perfect. If you heard that little, like, coconut noise, like the coconut being dropped on a guy noise, that's the Megabonk going off. Let's get the lightning staff upgraded. Upgrade the precision tome. Just keep hoping against hope that we get the freaking cooldown tome, because that would be... I don't know how I missed this thing back here, this charge shrine, but we need to get it. Yeah, that noise. That, like, weird hollow bonk noise. More XP gain. We got a ton of gold, so... Nice! Max HP isn't bad. Get another chest while we're over here. Nice! And that didn't cost us anything, so let's go for another one. That's less good. It's not bad, but... Because the campfire heals you very quickly. So it's not like a complete waste. Like, look. That's really good. It's just... It makes me think, I think it's the mushroom from Risk of Rain 2. Ah, well, there, it'll heal us even faster. But again, it takes standing still, which isn't, you know, ideal in the best of times. In these kind of games, and just this game too, in general. Oh, goodness. Nice. More crit chance. Nuke. Gonna banish the HP tome. Upgrade the lightning staff. Skip. Skip. Upgrade the sword. The fire staff. Oh, come on. I guess we'll take the Thorns tome. I'll explain the reasoning behind that in a minute. Extra jumps. Excellent. Now, the reasoning behind the Thorns tome is that, it's just damage. You know, it's still technically damage. The other two weren't really going to help us that much in terms of actually being able to kill stuff. I mean, just doing damage on getting hit is kind of good. I'm not sure if the Thorn stuff can crit, but if Thorns can crit, that's all the more reason to get it. And I'm not sure if it triggers on evasion either. Yeah, the Thorns, it looks like, can actually crit. Let's take this lightning staff upgrade just because it improves projectile bounces, which is like a very important stat for that. Where even are we on the map? Okay. Now, if you press start, and this is really good, you can actually just look at the map. So we want to go... is that a Moai over there? That is. Let's go ahead and take this clock. Get over here. I'm not sure if we can get up there. Come on, buddy, don't get caught on the rock. Nah, we're not gonna get up there like that anyway. We do kind of obviously need to get to the physics in this game can be a little frustrating whenever you're trying to work with jumping from one object to another. Wow, he got destroyed. Alright, plus 2 thorns for every 1% armor. That's pretty good, actually. I wasn't going in on us becoming a thorns build, but... okay, I'm not complaining. Right? Like... because we've got a decent amount of armor now. 25% ain't nothing. I'll take the increased evasion, so as you see there, we're now at like 38%. It's pretty good. More crit damage. Again, because that's just direct damage. Let's get the agility up, because man, I'm tired of going so slow. That's heartbreaking if... okay, okay. That's not nearly as bad as I thought it was at first glance. Now, I know that we've only got a minute left, but, I mean, you can see kind of the damage that we're actually managing to do, so I'm not really too worried about defeating the boss. Another extra jump would be great. Yeah, there we go. I'm honestly more worried about leaving without getting everything. That's like my actual primary concern here. And if you look up here, we have a protect that we left from way earlier. So we can go ahead and just get this. And since we're invulnerable, we can stand right next to this guy and just murk him. Which is just fantastic. Alright, let's see what we get. Nice. I want to upgrade the fire staff, but the knockback is more important. Let's go ahead and open this. Nice! We got that one for free. The knockback is necessary, but man, I want the movement speed up so bad. The sword again. The sword again. The sword again. I think here's where we upgrade the lightning staff if I didn't want agility instead, which I do. Nice. We are really looking good for the next area. Here's just the idea that maybe I don't mess this part of the run up this time, yeah? Yeah, we are doing fantastic. Look at all that healing. This is a little silly, but, you know. I kind of just want more damage, but if you look over, we don't really have... the HP regen right there is from our campfire. I'll go ahead and get the... Because look, our regen actually is 62 now with that. I kind of want to get up here. Get this. It's good that we found the boss portal this early, so we can just kind of, you know, I want to go for extra projectile counts for everything, since we don't have the quantity tome. Extra luck would be good. We have enough movement speed as it is. Now, let's go over here and see what the merchant is selling. What are you buying? Let's go ahead and get another key, actually, because I think it's kind of based to have a half chance to just not spend any money. Nice. I'm not going to stick around. There's enough chests on the map. We can just keep moving. I do want to pop this and just have them follow us. Get this up so that we have more spawns overall, so we have more like XP and more gold. We'll get that magnet shrine in a minute. My ear. Ugh. Now, I want more XP gain. Again, at this point, I want to upgrade our guy's ability to... Oh, nice, a free magnet. Projectile bounces, too. It's kind of important. See if this costs us anything. Nice. It did. That stinks. But, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you win the coin flip, sometimes you don't. Now, if I remember right, these charge shrines, the golden ones, if you look, yeah, they're guaranteed legendary on all their stuff. I just want the extra luck. Now let's see how quickly we can take this guy out. That'll give us a good idea on if we're fit to take on the boss. Oh goodness, that did a lot of damage. Even through all of our armor, that did a lot of damage. Now if we stand still, we get that health back pretty quick. And we move fast enough that we don't have to worry too much. Right. Get our lightning staff up. Let's see if we can put those ghosts to work. We're getting a lot of those bonks on this guy. I'm not sure if crit chance affects the chance of that, like getting the Megabonk proc. Now you could tell that we're still not like leveling up terribly quickly for all the monsters that we're killing and stuff. If I'm being real, I just kind of wanted to get rid of the stone golem so that we didn't have him following us all around the map, but at this point I think it's probably best to just continue on with whatever we're trying to do. And not die, hopefully. Magnet to hopefully not die. Crit chance up. Sword damage up. Now, if we're far enough away, and I hope we are, we can heal with our handy-dandy campfires. He's like right behind us, which ain't great for trying to get charge shrines. The plus projectile count is probably more important right now, actually, just for our ranged stuff. The plus power-up drop chance is important, because if we can get a rage drop, we can just nuke him. See what we've got over here. More crit chance would be really great. Now, if we can get more crit damage, that would also be really great. And hopefully we can just melt stuff. I'll take the extra luck instead. Nice. This is excellent. The extra jumps are cool, but I'll take the extra XP gain instead. And the extra knockback. Because we clearly need the knockback at this point. I want to see what this guy's selling. Hopefully it's something that will help us. The brass knuckles will hopefully be a very big deal for our sword damage. At a minimum, if nothing else. Ah, crud. I was kind of hoping we'd be doing enough damage now to like actually thin this herd a bit. Ah, crud. There's another... So these bugs, they explode and they launch you whenever they do. Which kind of stinks a little bit. You could even call them stink bugs, I guess, if you wanted. But I don't know why you'd do that. Is there another dude down there? Yes. I'll take the freaking burger spawner, actually, since that's more health, like incidental health. We really need to get to the boss spawner and go ahead and spawn the boss, regardless of if we can do much damage to him. Let's take the damage to elites. I don't think that's really going to actually help directly against bosses, but let's hope we get something good. I'm not sure what that even does, the blood mark, I mean, so maybe that's good. Let's go ahead and spawn the boss, as ill-advised as it may seem. Ah, crud. Yep, there it is. Well, I think that's it for this one. I kind of wanted to get a victorious run in, but, you know, this video's gone on long enough. I'll probably make another one, though.